Just strategically place to. Absolutely, Madam Chair. Don't you hit the button. Press the button. I know. But all right.
Alder Smith, you move to that seat, Alder Smith?
Yeah, that's all because I got my name.
Well, we're gonna move it.
It's
on.
It is.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, you're on committee? Awesome.
Ready?
Yeah, whatever you want.
All right. Good evening, everyone. We're about to get our meeting started. Thank you for being so patient. We're running a couple minutes late, but I'm going to call the meeting to order.
It's on.
It's on. I don't normally use the gavel. This is weird. We're going to call this meeting to order. City notice. City of New Haven. The Youth Committee of the New Haven Board of Aldermen will meet at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, May 11th, 2022, in the Board of Alders chamber located on the second floor of City Hall, 165 Church Street, New Haven, Connecticut, 06510, to hold a workshop to discuss the committee's activities and receive an update from the Youth and Recreation Department. Per order, Honorable Kimberly Edwards, Chair. Attest, Honorable Michael Smart, City Town Clerk. In accordance with the city's COVID-19 protocols, all attendees are required to wear masks. For any accessibility related accommodations, please contact 203-946-7651 voice or 203-946-8582 TTY. My name is Kimberly Edwards from Ward 19, and I am chair of the committee. I'm going to ask my colleagues to introduce themselves, and I'm going to start with Alder Honda Smith and work our way down.
Alder Funzo, Ward 17.
Alder Rodriguez, Ward 6.
Brian Wingate, Ward 29, Beaver Hill.
Thank you. I would also like to acknowledge Alder from Ward 20, Alder Absalom Smith. Okay, so now we're going to get right into our business. I would like to call up the representatives from our Youth and Recreation Department, please. Thank you. Before you start your presentation, I would ask that you both just introduce yourself by stating your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Ronald Huggins, 165 Church Street.
Thank you. All right, so we can get right into it.
Well, good evening, Alders. Thank you, Madam Chair, for the opportunity to be able to speak about the Youth and Rec Department. We are, first off, proud to announce that as of last week, we are at full capacity with staffing. We've been able to hire 2 new park rangers as well as a recreation supervisor, which helps to fulfill our role within the park. Moving on to our programs, we're excited to announce that our summer guide, is now available and has been distributed to over 25,000 students and families throughout the city. Alders, just for a point of reference, last week, I emailed that to each and every one of you. This guide has a list of over 50 camps, with many of them being free, low cost, or offering some type of financial support for the students and residents of our city. Our department is also happy to announce that we ran our summer transportation grant application, which closed on Friday. After review of the application, there are 25 camps that have applied for grants up to $2,500 to help to cover transportation costs to summer activities such as museums, Six Flags, the Maritime Aquarium, and Bronx Zoo, to name a few. As we go into the next part of our presentation, I'd like to note that I will first be speaking about our recreation side, which covers ages 5 to 13, followed by our youth side, which highlights programs for ages 14 to 21. So on our recreation side, we are proud to announce that NFL star Tyler Booker ran a 3-day camp for our students, and we had great turnout and participation with that. We're also happy to announce that our movies in the park, which I brought this for you guys to look at, it can be passed around. Our movies in the park, which will service 10 different parks, will run from June 4th to August 27th. We are proud to announce that our ice hockey program, which is also birthed and housed out of our recreation side, will be running, has already started running and will continue to run. In addition, it is our hope with ARP dollars that we're able to expand our camps an extra week at no cost to our families. In addition, we are working very closely with our engineering department as we want to judge our buildings to use them as youth centers and expand the services and programs that we are able to offer, which with the approval of our budget, it is our hope, goal, and plan that one of our deputy positions will be able to oversee the day-to-day operations as well as programs that come from those buildings. On our youth side, I'd like to pass it over to my colleague, Ms. Erica Blake, which will first highlight our Youth at Work summer and year-round program.
So our summer program is due to run between July 5th to August 5th. We currently have over 500 applicants. We have about 75 work sites that applied. Minimum wage is due to go up July 1st to $14 an hour. We've allocated for about 3 workers per site, and we are currently in our matching and placement process.
Thank you, Erica. So to go on with the rest of our youth programs, if granted ARP dollars, we would like to do and continue the following items that we've already started to do, and some that is not limited to just those items. So the first program I'd like to highlight is our Youth Connect program, which continues to run and operate smoothly, being a support program for New Haven's most at-risk and high-risk involved youth. Currently, the program has a serving capacity of 100 youth, as we recognize that there's only a small amount of people that are involved and engaged in a large amount of our violence and or has some form of influence over the violence that's taking place in the city. We will continue to work with our partners to engage these young people. With ARP dollars, we will continue to support the program into the summer and give our staff the needed tools to be able to continue that work. We are happy to announce that we registered over 300 New Haven residents to complete the mandatory state drug and alcohol course. We listed that as our teen driving safety program. This program is required for anyone in the state of Connecticut who wishes to obtain their license for the very first time. Again, over 300 youth are enrolled in that program. There is currently a wait list of 150 youth, and as of this evening, 120 of our youth have actually completed the course and obtained their learner's permit. Yeah. So very good success. And applicants enrolled in the program have until June 30th to complete. So the other 180 have until June 30th to complete the course, which is online and virtual. Right. And they're able to do it at their own pace. So we're excited about that. And again, with the dollars, we plan on running another cohort and be able to take those kids that are on the wait list and give them the program. In addition, we are looking to, this summer, we want to hold a summer youth summit. This will give us as a department an opportunity to be in our community and also be able to hear firsthand the voices of our young people, hear what's going on with them, what issues are they seeing in the community, and give them a real opportunity to speak up and engage in some type of public speaking format. Oftentimes, when we're trying to work with kids, you know, you have your go-to kids because you know that they're a good speaker, but we want all of our kids, no matter what, to feel free to be able to come in and speak about youth issues. In addition, we are looking to continue our Summer Family Fun Day. This Summer Family Fun Day ran at 8 sites last year. Every Wednesday in the summer, we had a family fun day around the city. This was an opportunity for community members to enjoy a safe and fun family event filled with free food, bouncy houses, water slides, family activities, and resource tables to be able to support the families in that area. In addition, we just hosted our gospel concert, at which we were able to sell 1,600 tickets were purchased for this event, where the headliners were Ty Tribbett and Kim Burrell. Students from our local high school co-op, the co-op high school choir, had the opportunity to have firsthand vocal training by Kim Burrell, which led to them being able to perform with our headliner, Ty Tribbett, at our gospel concert. The proceeds from this event was donated today to the Connecticut Diaper Bank to be able to support a shortage on diapers that we are experiencing here nationwide, but definitely here in our city. The Connecticut Diaper Bank services over 25 local agencies, New Haven-based agencies, to be hub sites for families to be able to go get diapers free of charge with no questions. After seeing how well that show operated, how smooth that venue was, again, with ARP dollars, it is our hope to take our outdoor concert that you've seen us do at the Westfield Music Bowl, actually bring it downtown so that students have the opportunity to actually be downtown, bring that event downtown, and make it a 2-day event. August 3rd and August 4th is our hope. We will still be able to service the same amount of kids that we did at the Music Bowl if we brought it downtown, hosted it at this venue, and did it as a 2-day event. We are looking to also expand our summer expansion grant. We were able to provide last year with our expansion grant $25,000, up to $25,000 grants to help residents be able to participate in local camps free of charge. So for all of the camps that received grant money from us, the expectation was that they would expand their program, expand it by the hours of operation, the weeks that they operated, and the amount of youth that they operated, and offer the program to the youth at no cost. And so it is our goal and our intent to be able to offer that grant again. But then one thing we want to do differently is where we did it just for summer expansion, we want to do it from July 1 to December 31st. This will allow for after school programs, giving our kids things to do throughout the school year after our normal school time. So it is our hope to be able to do that as well. The last two things that I would like to highlight is our summer bike program. We were able to secure a grant from the Youth Service Bureau, where we were able to distribute close to 300 bicycles, brand new bicycles, with our partners at Walmart. And we used those bicycles at the homicide during our walks, our canvas walks with community partners, to provide them to kids on the street where violence might have happened. But at the same time, we also reached out to Alders and other people in the community to be able to provide these bikes to students throughout the city. So we are looking to be able to secure that grant and run that program again. And last but not least, I'd like to make note of our signature programs. One we've already done, which was our Black History Month dinner on the green, but we're also looking to continue our trunk or treat, which is held annually on Halloween, our turkey giveaway, usually held the Friday before Thanksgiving, our Season of Giving toy drive, which is held a week before Christmas, and last but not least, our winter coat distribution, in which we secure close to 1,000 coats from the Dollar Foundation to be able to provide to students throughout the city. So at this point, this concludes our presentation, and we would like to open up the floor for any questions.
Thank you for your presentation. Do my colleagues have any questions?
I do, thank you, Madam Chair. Good presentation. Appreciate it. There's a lot of information, like a lot of information going on there. And I wasn't unable to attend the Gospel Fest, but I understand it went successfully and great. With Kimber Rail and Ty Tribbett. In reference to, I think it was the third item that you talked about. We'll go back.
The recreation side of things, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how many students are we going to be affected by that?
So on average, most of our programs on average generally support about 1,000 kids. Yeah, so generally support about 1,000 kids. And so with us being able to work with our engineering department to open up these youth centers, the hope is to be able to expand our services, right? So we service on day-to-day about 1,000 kids. But if we're able to, and that's us being understaffed, which we just filled our rank, and us for the most part being at 165 and 720. So this now expands our reach and puts us even deeper in the community. It opens up city buildings and city spaces for people to feel free to say, hey, I don't necessarily have to go to 165 where I might not get a park. I don't have to go to 720, which may seem so far. I can go to this youth center that's in the Hill, that's in Fairhaven, that's in West Hills, and feel comfortable to say, I can get the same services that I get downtown here. So it's almost as if these youth centers I kind of envision them being almost mini police substations, but for youth.
I get it.
So
one more question.
yes, sir.
In reference to the youth that works this year, is there a bump up from last year in reference to folks getting jobs?
So last year we were able to offer each and every one of our applicants a job. Unfortunately, this year, and I want to speak to what our efforts look like. We went to every single high school. Our team went to every single high school. We bumped up our social media. We bumped up our constant contact. We did pop-up application events and a bunch of different things to try to get kids to work. Unfortunately, we're in a world right now where people just don't want to work. And we're paying what minimum wage is. When state minimum wage goes up, we go up. We're offering great hours for student jobs. And our process isn't as hard as some of the other processes where you have to get working papers and things like that. So we're firsthand boots on the ground, but we're just having a really hard time getting used to sign up. And I don't know if it's still COVID fog, as I like to refer to it.
Right.
But we've tried so much.
So the numbers are down.
The numbers are yes. I will be transparent. The numbers aren't where we would like them, but they are status quo to where they were last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I mean, granted, a lot of the applications last summer came like at the last minute when we did a big pop-up shop.
Okay. Are y'all planning to do another pop-up shop, or is that in the works, or y'all just gonna let
It's a possibility. I mean, currently right now we have about 600 applications
Mhm.
that we're processing, about 594.
It's important, and I know, right? This is almost like we're in a space where jobs is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people leaving where I'm at because it's a jobs market for people, right? Fall COVID fog, whatever it is. But, if we can help to get the word out in our neighborhoods, as we represent Beaver Hills, we use our emails to see if they understand and they know that those still opportunities happening. Some mothers don't know, right? That their parents can, like their kids can come down here and get their job. It may not seem like it, but some don't know, right? I mean, I'd rather for them to be doing something in the summer than doing nothing at all, just hanging around. So if we can help with that, we'd be more than happy to.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Alder Smith?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have several questions to ask. One, talking about the job applications. I received a lot of calls in regards to the applications that they're too complex, like for parents, and that you're asking for too much information. applicants, so that's why they're not filling it out. Last year was the same thing. Is there any way that you can simplify the applications for,
So we definitely just struggle with the wording in regards to like how to get what we need for the application. But our biggest funder actually is Workforce Alliance. So it's like those are like the funder, like those are like their requirements. But I don't know how, if you guys have any suggestions, how we can make it a little bit more simple.
Yeah, and all this, just to piggyback off of that as well. I know we put in, from a budget perspective, we put in multiple times to increase our youth at work, line, because you don't need as much if we're able to, house the program on our side. And I want to make reference to Hartford. Hartford puts $1 million in their budget just for youth employment.
Mhm.
The city of New Haven, we don't even touch 20% of what they're putting in, if I'm being very transparent. So we can change the requirements, granted, it becomes our program. Right now, it's our program that's housed with us, but our biggest funding source is Workforce Alliance, and we have to abide by what their rules and regulations are. So if there's a way on this that we, can get the support of this committee to go before the board and really help to increase the youth at work line item, I think that would be helpful. And to your point, be able to make the application process less complex.
I can see it in one way that I don't see it the way you're saying, because a lot of people don't want to turn in 2 pieces of information with the Social Security and so on that's out there that's actually needed. It becomes a question to them.
No, if I may,
Yes, please.
that is also, so our process is also the process for any job. So in order to enter, just to give you the background, in order to enter anybody into Munis, we need a social in order to pay. Any HR across the world, you need a person.
But I think
That's not a
after
job.
that,
Oh, you say,
Yes, exactly. Right.
oh,
Thank you. Thank
like,
you.
she's saying like, before,
we required before, but you
Yes.
say,
once you're accepted.
Absolutely.
and so to that point, the reason we asked for it earlier, I think, is because we go into it with the goal of trying to accept everyone as well, just.
All right. So my second question, if I may, Madam Chair.
Yes, you may.
Thank
You have the
you.
floor.
You talked about the hiring of rangers.
Yes, ma'am.
And you also talked, let me step still with rangers. How many ranger stations do you actually have that is available for the rangers?
So all of our ranger stations are open, but that's to the point I made earlier about us working with the engineering department. The reality is some of them need to be rejudged, updated. We don't know if they can truly support, in the state that they're in right now, truly support the capacity of programming that we ideally would like to see out of our ranger station. So that's why our director is working really closely with the engineering department to be able to get those stations up to date and then be able to continue to expand the services.
So you're looking to expand the ranger station as youth centers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You talked about short of staff. For these youth centers, what's the staff capacity? Because you guys merged the youth and park and recreation department, which I would think that there would be enough staff, since you got 2 departments together, that can cover all of these things, and what you're asking for. So where are you short at in staff?
So with the merger and with us being at full capacity, that only with us being at full capacity, that's only 13 workers. Of the 13 workers, that is 3 of them are either AAs, administrative assistant, with 1 of them being an EA. So with that, you have at that point 10 staff members. 1 of them is a director, the other is our deputy director, which now gives you 8 staff to be boots on the ground. And we just, of those 8 staff, 3 of them, we just were able to bring on. Now we've been able to sustain some of our program by hiring part-time staff. And I think we all know with part-time staff, we can't get the most out of them because they're working 2 or 3 jobs. They, hustling, doing their thing. So they're not able to give it as much as they would like, or sometimes the time in which we need them doesn't work for the time in which they have. So if we're able to increase the amount of staff that we have with the support of the board, I think it allows for services to be more transparent, more, my apologies, more transparent, more open, and more of a flow.
I just want a clarification.
Yes, ma'am.
You're saying 13 people came from Parks Department or 13 you have total?
13 we have total, even with the merger.
So how many came from Parks Department?
So if you give me a moment,
Please.
one. So 7 would have came from that side. Now, keep in mind, I want to be clear as well with Ms. Bill, which was our youth at work program coordinator. She's now with Elderly Services. Dimitri, which is one of our recreation specialists, he ended up resigning and getting a new position, so we just were able to fill that one. We had 2 park rangers that were going, which we were just able to get. So we were literally working with skins and bones.
You had 17 from Parks Department. How many staff do you have on the youth department?
On the youth.
5. And all of your staff are supervisory staff that's on the youth department?
No, ma'am. So we have an EAA, AA,
The director.
and the other ones are program manager or program specialist. So again, that with the reorg, or the way we charter board, it would allow for more boots on the ground and a better oversight, to what our programs are.
I'm gonna turn it over to someone else because I got dozens of questions. I can keep going on.
I just have one point of order. Can we make sure it is not about budget stuff?
This is not about budget. I just
And
need to know stuff.
no, and just make sure it's about some of the programming we're actually talking on. That's all.
That's good. That's what I wanna
Because
know.
we can revisit the rest as well.
Nope, not about budget, to see how many that they can put within the program.
Okay.
We
Any
just cleaned the
other
carpet, so
constituents
anything on
have
the floor, we can
questions? I would like to acknowledge
That's the rule.
Alder Rakeem. He's a committee member and he is now with us as well. So I'd just like to acknowledge that he is present. Alder Pronto.
That was a great presentation, Ron. Extended camp, no cost to families. Now, kids that go to regular camp like Lighthouse and places like that, those are free.
That are housed through us.
Yeah.
So our camps, they're very small fees, depending on which camp. So if they're in one of our specialty camps, there's a small fee because there's certain staff that they may need, which require certain licensing. So, the camp that requires a lifeguard, we have to, offset the cost of that. So other than that, yes, sir.
So if we extend that, or we're able to extend that, you are able to extend that, there'd be no cost to the family, additional cost.
No additional cost to the family for not only our camps, so I want to make this clear, not only city camps, but other camps as well. So mom and pop daycare, regular camp, because we're giving them the money with the expectation that they're not,
Right.
we've covered the cost.
Now those, Madam Chair, can I have one more question?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Those summer expansion grants, they were available last year also, am I correct?
Correct,
Those are $25,000?
correct. Up to 25.
Up to $25,000. And they're given, was there, there's obviously an application where who is actually notified for them? All nonprofits?
Yeah, so we have a large list that goes out. So we follow the city process. It's put out through bonfire. There's public notice that's made of it throughout the newspaper. But in addition to that process, we may put it on the city's website and we announce it to all of our partners. Hey, this grant is available. Apply. Here's the dates to apply.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
No problem. Any other colleagues have questions at this time? Alder Smith.
Thank you. This president, how much was donated to government?
The donation today was in the amount of $2,500. Yes, and they were extremely excited to have it. It's funny. They said that a municipality has never donated anything to them. They do all of this stuff to nonprofit. So they were extremely excited that New Haven was a leader in that regard.
I just want to say thank you. You know how proud I am of the role in which that you have taken since you've been here. You have been a breath of fresh air to the youth department. And I'm just really grateful that you're in this position that you're in now.
Thank you, Augustine. And to that point, I want to just say this publicly, you guys, we can have a great dream, but a dream without the right team is a nightmare. So, it's all of us, late nights, we're all grinding, we're all working hard, all this stuff. I know, sometimes I'm texting, calling you, hey, we had this shooting, we had this incident, how can we, what can we do? And so not only is it us, but we stand on the shoulders of you guys, right? Without your support, without the work that you guys are doing to help budget and certain things, it ties our hands. So thank you as well for being champions for the youth department and showing up. Half the battle is showing up. And I can say firsthand, I've seen each and every one of you at least one of our events. And for that, I'm personally grateful, and I believe our department is as well.
Thank you. Colleagues, no further questions?
Sure.
I think on Smith got one more time.
I got a lot of questions, but I'm not gonna hit you because,
If it's committee related to Aldersmith, if you want, we can submit them for you, just to let you know that as well. We have no issue doing that, just to advise you of that. And Alder Carmen Rodriguez, you have a question or comment?
I do. So we just had a meeting previously and we were talking about, you guys would be fantastic if you get a call from a baseball team, a football coach, that would be seeking donations. Because obviously there's a lot of programs out there in our city that sometimes their budgets are just as tight as everybody else's. But you may get that phone call. If you can forward it to over to Director Lucas, because then we can connect with our chair of the Black and Hispanic Caucus. As we spoke earlier, we had somebody who presented requesting a donation. So I think, if you hear of someone, definitely send it to our director and then he would move it forward to the Black and Hispanic.
Just so I'm clear, I want to make sure I'm understanding. If someone reaches out to us
Yes.
seeking a donation, you'd like for us to forward that?
So let me be clear.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm
Go
clear.
ahead, go ahead.
So, thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes, yes, you may.
All right. So what we're trying to do is partner with the youth department.
Okay.
From the Black and Hispanic Caucus perspective of trying to support these groups that may need some help financially. We don't have a lot of money to give, but we want to give. In reference to the youth department, like we have a real big push this term around the youth. We see the need for it. We understand it. And we basically want to partner with you around some things, around some, how can I say it? Some informational, some different things, some getting the word out, right? Getting the word out, right? Who's better knowing the youth, the entities than you, right? So we need help with that process, and we're gonna try to partner up, and hopefully we can have a sit down meeting, right? Maybe we can get some lunch or something, and go over that thought process on how we want to build capacity of partnering and with the Black Hispanic Caucus, with the youth committee, and trying to basically build a blanket around the city and the activities. And we have folks that come to us, Little League baseball team, basketball team, saying, well, we don't have this or we don't have that. We need a little money, right? So we can do that part of it. You just don't have to do that part of it. We want to know who's in need around that process.
Not a problem. And so thank you for your support with that. I think the best way is everything that we as a department do, we make sure firsthand sent to you guys before it even goes public, right? And so and we do that because we know that the Little League teams and the football teams are calling and say, hey, Alder, I need your support with this, or I can't get that. And so what I would ask for you guys to do is to stay up to date, and maybe there's a way that we'll send it to Lucas as well. Right. But I think it's in that all this email when we're sending it out. Right. But just to say, hey, this grant is being announced, or this program is being announced, and maybe we could be a little bit more intentional. With
and that's exactly what the word we should be using. We're gonna be trying to be intentional.
Yes.
And perhaps y'all can come to the Black and Hispanic Caucus, and we can do a formal process around partnering with that and being intentional of helping it's just another layer
Mhm.
No
that we
problem.
want
Let's
to
do
do, and that's what we're trying to do. And it came up today in our Black and Hispanic Caucus meeting, and we want to continue in that way. So Alder Rodriguez took a moment to say, "Let's grab them. They're here now, and let's plant the seed and get it going." So you'll be hearing from us in reference to trying to partner.
I got you.
Alder Smith?
Thank you, Madam Chair. My last question for real. How many youth centers you trying to create around the city?
So from my understanding, I can only go from what I understand the plan is from my director. The goal is to use all of our ranger stations, which I believe there's gonna be 9 in total, to be able to have them as youth center of throughout the city. So the number is 9. Again, part of that is contingent upon engineering, finance is A, but B, also the engineering department kind of hurrying that process up to get them to where we need them to be. But the goal is to use this data. In addition to our, the already 2 buildings that we have, 160 and 720.
Part two. So that would house the rangers and a youth staff.
Yes, ideally. A ranger station will still be used for ranger activities. But in addition to ranger activities, it's a youth center where resources are there, families can come in and get support, activities are being housed out there. So the activities may not necessarily always be the youth and rec department. We may use the mom and pop little league and say, hey, instead of doing on the football field, can you do coaching one-on-one and go over plays from a visual standpoint? Can you use this place to do this? This karate, can you come in here instead of doing at your regular dojo? Can you come in here and do a karate class for this hour? So that's our goal. Programming to be out of the building. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you for clarification.
No problem.
Alder Rakeem?
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. In terms of the youth centers / ranger stations, if there's a way for the area alders to adopt a ranger station, I know for myself, I strongly want to be involved. Well, considering my background around youth and funding. So that's 1. 2, I am the alder who works with Yale Athletics the most. So for the past decade, I have not been able to kind of leverage that relationship that I've built over time. I have the Yale Bowl athletics fields, the Westville Music Bowl I'm responsible for. The next 10 years of my aldering, it feels like, is why I came to this committee. I want to convey to this group and to you all, I want to see more recreation happening on my fields. In particular, the younger kids want to see a kickball league happen. And I feel very strongly that that's why I'm saying it out loud, that we should really get something started. And I'm talking about the young kids because they're often overlooked.
The 5 to 13.
Exactly.
Now, if I may interject.
Sure.
We do have, so to your point, we do currently run a kickball league.
Okay.
But it would be, to your point,
Bring 'em over.
it would be dope to run that league on a Yale property. So if you can be the bridge for that, our recreation side, they run kickball, basketball, pickleball, like you name it. There's things that's coming out of that side that blow my mind. I'm like, I didn't even know how to play that. So if there's a way, and thank you for that, that you can help us.
It's more than a way, and they're basically begging me for that type of interaction. And I just, now that I'm on this committee, now I can
make it happen.
Right. We're here now. So we're talking, I don't know, honestly, I wasn't sure what the topic was. So it's kind of.
No, this is perfect.
Oh, okay.
We're here, it's a workshop, but we had our department present, so we know what's going on.
Okay, I just want to be transparent to
Yes.
you all and you all, like that. My heart is really like we gotta start using the resources that's there. And I've been approving a lot of improvements for the last 10 years on that field. There's something coming down the pike now. There's lighting, like there's all kinds of stuff. And the community is just not, we're not using it.
And I do want to make point of reference that we have worked with Sergeant Ross, which is the Yale Police
Yes.
Department Engagement Officer,
Yep.
and she's connected us. So we do work with Yale Athletics. Every year we get 10 families during the holiday time that we give full Yale athletic gear to. Currently, right now, Yale Athletics and the Yale Police Department are actually paying and they access to identify kids to participate in the WFSB Channel 3 camp.
Okay.
So we work, I say that to say, we work really closely with them. They've never offered that type of space to us, and they know that we do the program. But if you can help to bridge that gap, let's please talk offline and let's connect the dots, because we love to do that.
There's a lot of kids on the west side of town in particular. It's just not a lot going on over there at all. Thanks to Alder Smith and the work that she started. But like, and also kudos on the Easter egg hunt. I just wanted to say, for the record, I do want to collaborate, and I think if alders who are interested in holding kind of like sites, because what I noticed was we had 200 kids from Westville. They weren't travel. I mean, some did go over, but like most people want to be in the neighborhood. That's just the New Haven way. I don't know. Everyone stay in the neighborhood, right? So I'd love to see us for the planning process. Like, I don't know when you will start that, but like, I would love to be a part, just to say that it's a part of the work that you all doing.
And to that point, that's why a lot of our programs, we don't like to use the same places. So when you look at our Easter egg hunt, it did move. When you look at our trunk or treat, it did move. You look at our toy giveaway, our turkeys. We did turkeys in Newholdville, Dixville, Newholdville for 3 years. We said, hey, we're going to the Hill this year. You know, our goal is to say, hey, what other word, and so one of the struggles we deal with is, you know, how do we make it bus line, easily accessible, but also spaces that allow for a free flow of traffic, right? Because it has to be able to flow as well. So we're all, trust me, there's not a ward represented here or, you know, with the Board of Alders that we don't say, hey, can we look at, you know, doing this over here or doing that over there. So we're definitely always trying to be fair about where our programs are and not always go to just one neighborhood.
In response to that, I'm at building off of what's happening. Like there could be Easter eggs happening simultaneously, is what I mean. To expand the resources, and it counts towards your impact. I want you all to get that credit, so that when you were trying to leverage a grant, it's like, no, we had multi-sites happening at the same time.
Well,
so
with the new staff, we you know, maybe that's definitely an idea, because now we'll have more staff to be able to support. You know, but that Easter egg hunt was all hands on deck.
Right. And it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. People are still talking about it. My girls.
Kudos to the donuts. That's,
oh my goodness. Yeah.
You guys just were.
Right.
Oh my God, man, the donuts were amazing.
Sorry, last time. Volunteer training.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you all offer that to the community. Maybe you all can create a certification program for volunteers, so that when we're trying to hold things in separate neighborhoods. So I have a ward committee with 50 people. I know for a fact we have a subcommittee for youth activities. They would love to be volunteers. So like if we were holding the Easter egg hunt, they've had their formal training and, you know, that type of volunteer experience, so that if something's happening simultaneously throughout the city at one time, having the big impact, you all have the roving van, you know, you're going around doing your thing, and just kind of pass through and walk through, that we're all coordinated. Just want to make that suggestion.
No, I appreciate it. Definitely taking notes to speak with our director. Thank you for the suggestion.
Thank you. And also to piggyback off of what Alder Rakeem with the it's like the hub thing. And I correlate that to the Halloween thing you all helped me with, Alder Rodriguez. And while you were doing your Halloween thing, we had another one in the actual neighborhood. So the impact is great. Because like you said, some people don't like to go out
We really don't.
And some people might hit up 2 spots too,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
at least the
That's true.
availability is there and it does make a difference. I'd like to call on Alder Rodriguez.
And thank you, Madam Chair. In regards to the turkey drive and you saying you moving around, I think that was excellent. Last year I was able to participate with you guys. But not only did was I able to participate, there were several alders who, we reached out to each other and delivered to our alders so that they can get the food out. It was a great event, and what a lot of folks that spoke to me was how passionate from the beginning of the driveway, when the young lady, was telling you where to move, where to go. It was the care that you took for people that were in a vulnerable moment. And most folks don't want to come out and pick up something, but the respect that you guys showed and the energy was fantastic. And so kudos to you guys as well. Because I was able to do that with you guys. And leaving, folks were like, okay, we got more turkeys. I called all driveway. Hey.
You were the delivery.
Listen, so I have the van. So you guys. I was calling that night to everybody. Yes, I did. Okay.
But I will say to that point, even when we're looking at our concert, right? This last gospel concert helped us to say, hey, we need to do a concert with a cause. So any of the shows that we do, especially if we're gonna put a nominal fee to it, being able to say, hey, what's to the Black and Hispanic culture, what is something that you believe in that, hey, we want to take this money that we receive and donate it to this organization. So this year, our department heard about there being a struggle with getting diapers, feminine products, baby formula. That's what the Connecticut Diaper Bank does. So that's why we chose them. In our mind, we're already hearing about food disparities. Families still struggling to get food. So we're potentially thinking, okay, one of our summer days, that those proceeds need to go to the Connecticut Food Bank. And maybe, for the third one, it's Alders. Give us some ideas of some things that are going on that maybe we want to say, hey, we want to get this, not a lot, but it does help to support something. So thank you guys for continuing to be support. We really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. We do appreciate you, and we appreciate you spending time with us tonight. And all the work you do. We will be in touch, as Alder Rodriguez and Alder Wingate mentioned. We would like to correlate a little more closely. So we will definitely get in touch with you between the youth department, your department, and the Black and Hispanic Caucus. Because I don't want you to think we got $1 million to give out. I don't want any false. That's why my eyes almost popped out my head. I just don't want you to think it's a lot of money, but we will do what we can. It is a partnership, and that is why we are here to serve our city. And we want to make sure we're doing right by our community members, especially our youth. And that's why we're here. And we thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Any questions from members of the public? Any questions from members of the public? I'm going to ask one more time, even though this is a workshop. Do we have any questions from members of the public before we let our great colleagues at the Youth and Recreation Department go?
I make a motion to close the public portion.
We are second. You got to vote on it. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We close the public portion.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we adjourn.
Wow, this is moving quickly. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Anything? All right, we are now adjourned.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
guys.
I don't use this now. Thank you. And thank you for playing with us late. We appreciate y'all. And I will be in touch with you.
Okay.
All right.
You know my number.
I know.
Okay.
So did you send the youth get turkeys and candy out to West Hills?
Don't do that.
You be-
Don't do
you be-
Don't be